Hello, hello. Here we go. Hello, hello. How you guys are doing? Yes. So let me see if you can hear me well, see me well, and backing track and everything's working fine. All right. Thanks, Guy, for being here with me. 9 p.m. here in Finland. And we will talk about hammer-ons and pull-offs and how to practice and answering some questions. Let's see if we can, keep in the practicing hammer-on and pull-offs legato subject. Good, good, good. So I was just like warming up here. Just like warming up, doing those 3 notes per strings or 4 notes per string. So here we go. So the first thing, so let me, I will talk about 7 things. 7 things. All right. So the first one, not in order. All the 7 things. Maybe one of them would be the hands position, but we talk later. Should be the first one. But let's start with articulation. Trying to find a good sound coming out of your hammer-ons and pull-offs, right? So you can choose combinations of 2 fingers or 3 fingers or 4 fingers. Let's get the three fingers, like a simple pattern like this, and just to check if. You see, the articulation is very important. Try to get every note really clear. See? So articulation, every note you can hear. So of course, always practicing slowly. And of course, you can always, change do the combinations, the permutations of the fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So. Then you see if you can hear the perfect sound coming from the 2, 3 and then the 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 4, right? 1, 2, 4. See, I'm not picking, I'm not using any, I'm just muting the other strings. That's very important. Muting the other strings and just leaving the first string open. Then 1, 3, 4. And here you can hear the 3, 4. Pretty difficult. Of course, you can open, stretch if you can. So yeah, yes, David. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Any fret, right? You can play, you know, like here or around the 7th, 9th fret. I think is easier. Then 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 4. And then, of course, 2, 3, 4. It's not, the quality is not as good as the other ones, as you can hear. So I should go back home and practice more, you know. But anyways. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, you know, and always trying to find this good articulation. If the articulation is not so good, just play slower and see if you can hear the, you know, very clearly all the notes. It seems like people like the 2, 3, 4. That's horrendous. So that's what I call articulation, like very clear the movement. The other thing to practice. Well, let's talk about the hand position. I saw some guys asking about the hand position. Mainly, you know, in this case here, that I was playing like I'm not doing like the pentatonic, you know, bends like this, you know, holding the neck like that. This is like more like a, I guess like a classical guitarist would sit, and then that would be the right hand position, I believe, you know. Straight, right, parallel to the neck, you know, not like this. Sometimes you go like this. Right? But then, for those legatos, better like this, you know, not like this. You know, let's see my wrist here, yeah. You know, the wrist's going diagonally, right? So, like this. Then you can open, you know, your hands. It's just better and healthier as well, you know. Possible tendinitis, you know, if you start playing a lot of legatos, you know. So I'm doing this pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So the higher notes, then the lower note, and then going up and back. So it, and if you know, if you just follow the fingers you decided to use. So and then when you play continuously, so just a just a second here. Uh-huh. Yes. So that's the pattern, right? That's the effect. So I'm changing the combinations, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 4. And then that's hard. So that's too fast. Okay, so combining mainly, the 2, 3, 4 is pretty hard to play fast. Should practice more, of course, as you can see. But so you just start doing the combinations and then create variations. I think it's very important, in a way, to be creative while practicing as well. Sometimes I see people like, I don't know, write down the exercise and then follow the same thing, and then, which is great, create a backing track or something for that. But then you don't have the chance to improvise, to change the fingering, or create something different, because I have to tell you, a lot of ideas from my songs, it came from practicing. Just play something and this is cool. So like, let me write down, let me record. So use the practicing time just to experiment as well, and you never know. Maybe you come with a cool riff or cool melody or some kind of cool idea for a solo, right? That's something that you have to keep in mind when practicing as well. So the more you improvise and create different variations, the better. Like the way the guitar. By the way, I want to tell you guys that next week we are opening the spots for the guitarhacks.com. My practicing method and the practicing course, and then we meet only the students. Meet now online, but we have those exclusive lives every month, and the entire course, and a very great group of people, and a great forum talking about guitars and practicing and exercises. So we are opening next week. So guitarhacks.com, just go there, enroll. So there's some free material there for you anyways, and I let you know when we open the next spots next week. And so guitarhacks.com, I think, no, I did put the link in the description. So the method, so it's like practicing some fundamental things, but also there's a moment in your practicing. Actually, I divide my hour in 1 hour, and actually I did that today, the 1 hour practicing, and always differentiating playing from practicing. So practicing is practicing and playing is playing. But during the practicing routine, you should have a specific moment that you try to be more creative as well, and you experiment and go, all over the place, all over the neck, to find new sounds, new ideas, right? And also to train your brain to think fast as well, not only like the same shapes over and over and over. Cool. So yeah, hands, the hand position. So as I said here, and then of course when you're playing, up here, your thumb would be around here or maybe here, And when you're down, I play with my thumb here, you know. Let me see if you guys can see that. Just a second. Ta-da. Yeah. So somewhere there, down here, like kind of below that line here. This beautiful piece of 5-piece neck, you know. And so that's the left hand position. And the right hand, basically, as I said in other live streamings about, muting and then kind of holding as well. Can always use your finger to hold the strings you're not using, or you have the palm muting here, the palm to mute the strings. You have the thumb. You can just rest here, rest the thumb, and then you have those fingers to hold and to hold the strings that you're not using. Let's say I'm playing the B string. So the B string, because I'm holding with these fingers the first string, and I'm muting and touching the strings with my thumb here. So I'm not using any device here to mute the strings from here, from the headstock. So, and I can mute. You see, it's all muted. First string, second string. So I have the muting technique here. And here is all muted because of the thumb here, right? Not easy to do. It is easy to understand. Okay, you just put the hand and hold all the strings. But you need some practice, because of course when you change the strings, you need to, like the right hand has to move along with the left hand, right? Cool stuff. Yeah, David just signed up for Guitar Hacks. Thanks, man. Yeah, so that's the practicing Guitar Hacks routine. So that's the practicing. I divide like what I think is important to do in an hour. Regarding practicing, regarding like focus practicing, and getting the best result from your time, and then you learn how to do that, and then after you don't need to really follow all what I say all the time, but I think gives you a very good framework. So if you don't know what to practice, just follow what I'm telling you, and then you just go through that hour, and then you feel good for the day. You know what I mean? And then you just get a backing track or start writing a song, and then you just feel better. That's what I do before a concert as well. And people believe that I'm talking too much, I guess, right? Anyways, people believe that professional musicians, I want to be a professional musician so I can play the whole day. I will play the entire day because I'm a professional musician. But actually, when you become a professional musician, mainly a touring musician, you'll be traveling a lot, and you will be in difficult situations, like you travel the whole day and suddenly you have a guitar clinic or have a big concert, and then you didn't have the time to practice or to play. And then you normally have like an hour before the show or something, or maybe sometime at the hotel, maybe in the airport, but it's never the same feeling, practicing like in the airport. So then you have to learn how to get the best for this few minutes or half hour or 1 hour you have before a concert, because you don't want to go on stage without feeling, confident. Because technique is not about playing fast. It's about being confident to play what you need to play, what you want to play. So that's what I believe in. Of course, if you do it consistently and throughout the years, you eventually play fast. That's just a normal result, But the idea is to be confident, to play the note that you want to play at the right time, with the proper tone, right? I like this question. Everybody always like a bluesy bluesco. Do you make any mistake while playing live in it? Let me tell you. So many, but so many, you know. And the thing is like, if people can recognize guitar players probably yes, but and you know, sometimes like tiny mistakes that I know is a mistake because I didn't nail that note, or maybe I didn't practice enough, I was not prepared enough, and then I know. But the thing is like how you react. How fast can you react to a mistake? You know, how fast can you react, or how fast can you disguise that mistake? So it's still musical, it's still okay, you know. Yeah, doing the live streamings like here are like a lot of mistakes because of just talking and reading and checking if the streaming is happening. So yeah, you know, I'm not a tech guy, you know, to play guitar, run a computer with backing tracks, read what you guys are saying, and see if the OBS is running, with no problems. But anyways, let's keep doing this. Articulation and the hand position, right? That's what I said, with the palm muting and the position of the thumb, and then the right hand. So two things. And timing. Another thing that is, for me at least, because I'm left-handed, I don't know if that matters, but it should be better, I guess. But anyways, it's always my excuse when I do. Yeah, I have to laugh. So I always use the excuse that I'm left-handed because, you know, sometimes it feels weird to play some stuff. So the control here of the timing, you know, like because when you pick, you have kind of a help of the to have the control, mainly when you're playing slowly, right? Because you're just playing. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but it's not the same as, do a phrasing with legato in a slower tempo. So that's something very important to practice. Timing, slower tempo, and just have this good articulation and control. It's all about control. Technique is about control, about feeling confident. It's not about playing fast. Because if you think technique is to play fast, you probably will lose the control and the purpose of having a good technique. And then just try to build this confidence in having good control. And of course, at some point you'll be playing fast, and then it's up to you how fast you want to be, So. All right, so timing. Another thing now, so we said three things: articulations, the hand positions, dynamics now, okay? Now, articulations, timing, and hand positions, and now dynamics. That's an important thing. Now, here I have a lot of drive. So let's see. I will play using a very low dynamic, playing very light. And then I'll try to do this for you guys. Getting closer to my mic. Let's see if you can hear. So that's lower dynamic. and then I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you know, if you guys can hear the difference, you know. So that's dynamics is always important to practice. You know, any phrase you play, you can experiment playing with different dynamics. You know, softly and you know, with amazing power, and because then again it's about control, right? And because we use a lot of distortion. You know, I guess you guys also, and then play with distortion as well, and then you know you feel you don't need to practice the dynamics. So if you play with the clean tone, is the best way to feel the dynamics. Yeah. Okay, good. You guys can hear it. All right. So dynamics. Another thing you guys can practice is like how far from the neck, you know, the minimal movement, you know, where it's pretty hard with the legato. Sometimes you need to move more. When you pick, the legato, you tend to move a little bit more away, you know, to play, move the fingers away from the neck, you know. But you also can try to minimize that distance. You see here? And it's different than check out the difference. Closer to the neck, right? Or like this. Even I don't like even to show this. Right? So the distance, you know, from the neck, how much your fingers goes away from the neck. Another thing to practice and care about, right? So articulation, the timing, the dynamics, the distance, you know, the minimal movement, and you know, of course, and then muting, palm muting, and the hands position, right? Good stuff. Any questions so far? Yeah, right. So your beat is rare. All right. So another thing, you know, well, another thing that I took note here was the combinations of fingers. So I said that already. You know, practice all the combinations, and keep exchange them. You know, just keep moving around. You know. Like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 4. I was not really playing, in the right key, whatever. I was just changing the 1 2 4, 1 2 3, 1 2 4, 1 3 4, right, and then. Right, and so permutations, and then the last one, I said 7, changing strings. That's hard. So that's something you have to pay attention as well, and practice only the changing of this, the changing of the strings, like when you the string crossing, right? So if you're doing that pattern, right? So now, here's the transition. Now after you get the transition, and important, you can pick if you want, picking the first note of the group of 6 notes. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1. You can do like this, or right, not the hammer from nowhere. As I don't know who gave this name. I think Greg Howe was the first guy talking about like the hammer-ons from nowhere. But I think Alan Holdsworth would be the first one doing this in 73 or 74, So, practice the transition, and then play the pattern. So here. Then the next step would be, as I did, changing, going through all the strings. So something like. Could do like this as well, like octave. Then the same thing. So E, D, C, B, A, G, and then the same. So it's kind of hard, because then you should practice. Then it's hard. You see the transitions? Slowly. Somebody said, holy moly. So, holy moly, let's do it slowly. So, let's do it slowly. So. harder. There's a way to do a little bit easier, just a little bit easier. That would be, and then you just change using the same position, not like going to changing the strings and changing to another position. Like you're here and then you want to change to this other position, and at the same time changing the strings. So you can, so you play here, next string, then you walk down, and then you change, and a little bit better. So it's, instead of, you know, doing this, like the mini metal, yeah. So, well, so you can hear the noises. Now it's better. So here the same. Got it? Good? So again, you can always practice the transition like. So instead of using this finger, this one, you use this one, right? Because you're preparing for the shifting the position. It seems simple and it seems like, oh, this is minimal, but that's where you have a noise or a mistake, you get, you know, confused. So on those little transitions, you know, if you play slowly and pay attention on the transitions, probably when you play faster, when you're jamming, it's gonna be, you know, suddenly it's like, oh, it's fluent, it's flowing, you know. So, and I think that's the idea, right? So you have to, that's practicing. That's, okay, let me check the movement. All right, so this is the movement. Because even if you if you want to become a runner, and then you will start running, which is like a natural thing for everybody here, I guess. If you want to go to the next level, you have to check how you run, you know, the movements. You know, if you want to run like, I don't know, 10K, 20K, whatever, marathon or things like this, you have to, although it's a movement that everybody does. You've been running since, I don't know, since you're 3 years old, 2 years old. So and then you have to practice, right? So in this case, this is not a common movement that you've been doing since you were 2 years old, right? I guess, you know. So you have to, you know, go step by step and check the minimal movements to understand what's going on and the best way you can do this, you know. That's why I say like practicing for 1 hour is enough, you know, for average, you know, if you want to be like the top player of the world of all times, maybe you need to play 10, 15 hours, but you start practicing 1 hour, and sometimes 1 hour is a lot. You can do like 10 minutes, you know. The important thing is to start and do a little bit, and then once you practice for 10 minutes, things like this, you feel like, okay, good, I can do 15 minutes, and then easily you can do this for 1 hour. And then remembering that you need to play, you need to do music, you need to have fun with music, so you need at least double time for music, you know, all the stuff, not only the technique. So yeah, so that's my advice for you guys. And yeah, good. So yeah, so again, hand position, you know, pay attention on the hand position with the palm muting, articulation, the timing, dynamics, how, you know, the distance from the neck, right? The thinking about, to have a minimal movement, uh, changing the strings as well, like as we just said, um, paying attention of the string crossing, and the permutations, all the main permutations you can do, right? And then here you go. Like there's a good way to practice your hammer-ons and pull-offs. Good stuff. Yeah, been here like what 45 minutes or something like this. That's good stuff. So let me read a little bit what you guys are saying here. And another thing that would be number 8 would be the endurance, because the legato sometimes it's hard if you practice for long hours, or like long phrases, but you can always help with the pick if that's the case, but it's something good to practice the endurance as well. So as I was playing here, just trying to, I don't know, let's see. Non stop kind of legato, right? Right? So sometimes you help with the pick, and so you can maintain the energy, right? Good stuff. So let me see what you guys are saying before we end this live streaming. And why the descending always feels harder and more awkward? I don't know. It depends. It depends. Maybe for you, maybe for somebody else would be ascending, and some people prefer sweeping. Some people play more legatos. I think it really depends. And the more you practice different techniques, and again, I invite you guys to enroll in the guitarhacks.com, because we open the spots next week. So just enroll there, leave your email if you want to be part of this group of people that are focused on practicing guitar. And there's a lot of great guys there. Some are here, and we have this community there, people that enjoy practicing. People that understand the difference of practicing and playing, and give the chance, give time for practicing, not only like backing tracks and play, and then after 20 years, like, oh, I'm playing the same thing for 20 years. And there's a lot of stories like this. So when you understand that, you give a little bit of your time every day for practicing the right way, you will see like great improvements. That's why sometimes you see some guys like 15 years old, 16 years old, with great technique, just because they're doing the right way. And so the Guitar Hacks is basically a program that I show the way I do, and many tips like I'm saying here. And so guitarhacks.com, enroll there. We're opening next week the new spots. So, and I forgot what I was saying before. Anyways, about the descending and ascending. Yeah. my friend here at Zong, and yeah, because the more you practice different stuff, different variations, you understand what feels better for you and which is what doesn't feel better, and then you decide if you want to go for your strengths or if you want to fix some things, so we have like a good level of all the techniques, and all the ascending and descendings and things like this, at least in the beginning. I think it's very important to experiment all the techniques, and at some point you kind of, okay, this is not, it doesn't feel right for me, so I will skip this and then do more of whatever, sweep and legatos, or for me, I love playing alternate picking and then a little bit of legatos, some stuff with sweep picking, but not a lot, as you guys probably know, like Frangambali and some other guys are mainly Frangambali was like completely 100% sweep picking. So, you will always find different ways to express yourself. So the technique is just a way to express yourself. But of course, the more comfortable you feel, the better, right? All right, so good stuff. So, attack. I will attack my weakness. Yeah, you can, Yeah. Yeah, Philip Mariani. E aí? So Dave let me play his Neil Gibson yet? Yeah. No, actually, no, not the new one because I'm not there. So, but I saw the video, as you did. Is the guitar hacks for all skills levels? I believe so. If you're like completely beginner and you never played guitar, then maybe not, because you need to go through the chords and shapes. But if the pentatonics, the shapes, and then you use the exercises also to learn, the arpeggios, and if you're like a beginner, not from zero, right? But if you're starting to play some solos and the pentatonics and learning the first scales, then yes. But then maybe not an hour a day, maybe less, and then maybe half hour every day. The thing is, like, people say a lot, but it's 1 hour, it's not much. It's like, yeah, just try every day, at least like 5. It's like going to the gym, it's like, it's hard to go every day. It's hard to do it for 1 hour every day. It's hard. So beginners and intermediate, like half hour would be already good stuff. And then whenever weekends you can play for an hour, that's better. And if you have the whole day to play and to practice, then I would recommend to do 2 sessions, and then the rest of the time just play the modes, the backing tracks, compose, write songs, rehearse, record videos, and record songs, be a musician, basically, Good stuff. What do we learn in the guitar hacks? Basically, is the proper way of practicing, and of course, then we use arpeggios, pentatonics, different scales, and then we use licks and phrases and things like this. But the thing is not what to practice, more like how to practice. And then because the what to practice we have everywhere, a lot of stuff around us, but then you get very confused on how to practice. So I'm showing the way I do and the way I believe, the way I did in the past, and throughout the years I was tweaking and try to, then I try to kind of summarize very effective 1 hour of practicing, and then if you do it like every day, you will have you will feel the difference. You will feel the difference. Yes. Brand is playing 3 hours a day and have the fingers bleeding. Yeah. I mean, if you're a beginner, maybe, but you shouldn't be bleeding, so you're not playing enough. That's what I would say. I don't know about the 3 hours. You know, you can play 3 hours. The fingers, or maybe maybe your guitar, or maybe buy new strings. It shouldn't be bleeding for 3 hours. You know, but then if you're creating the endurance, if you're a beginner, maybe, but 3 hours, the fingers, you damage your fingers if you play like. For me, if I play a lot, like recording, because sometimes recording you just repeat the same thing forever, and then if the part has a lot of bands, playing like legatos like this, it doesn't do anything to your fingers, nothing. It's just like my fingers feels like the skin of a baby, I would say. But if you need to do like like, and record something and then repeat many times, or a lot of a lot of this with heavier strings, and you record and have to play over and over and over the same part, and then it might be, but you just put a super glue and then we're good. Good. 1 hour, an hour guitar a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah, well, I guess that's for sure, because then you're gonna be at home, not going out, not meeting anybody, just you and the guitar, right? All right, so I play 8 hours a day, almost every day. Good. But the way when I say 1 hour, you might play for 8 hours. You might play music and be around but practice for 8 hours, I think is, I would say, I cannot doubt you, but I would say it's quite impossible, because we just don't have the concentration for that. It's very hard to have a concentration to really focus on something for 8 hours. It can be, maybe. Yeah. All right, so about the gear here, I'm using Neuro DSP, the Noli archetype. That's straight to the streaming, so no amps, just the Neuro DSP plugin straight to the OBS streaming software. Good stuff, guys. Thanks a lot. We've been here for an hour, which is great, and I hope you guys had great fun and learned something today about hammer-ons and pull-offs, the legato technique, and how to practice. And see you hopefully next Thursday, and I will be here. Thank you very much. And yes, I appreciate everybody here, David, Gus, and Evolution System, and DNX, and Danielle, and Ala, Imam, Jane Porter, Evil Live, Poe G, oh, it's Poe Gilbert, maybe, yeah, hey, Marcin and Jane, everyone here. Thank you very much. Eliel Santos, Pastel, all right, Rafael Nunes, Ediel, and a Chinese name here, which is, I'm sorry, I'm not able to read this one. F. Aaron Crasser, John Foss, Damian, Alejandro Saudade desde Bélgica. Thanks guys, and see you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.